Okay, so we have the grabbers up here on the table. Now, the other day when I was out picking up, and y'all may have seen the video, I noticed a problem. And this problem is wear. Now, this grabber, my carbon fiber center one, is the one that I use the most. And we can see here on the bottom that it is just getting worn out. Now, that wearing is being caused by when I go to pick up stuff on the asphalt or curves or whatever that we're just wearing right here. Now, that's not going to hold up. And in fact, it's getting to the point right now where it's just going to start failing worse and worse. But we've made an update. And I was just looking at this one here. This is the PVC one that I was using. And it actually has the same kind of wear right there. I didn't notice it, but it sure is obvious now. Anyway, let me show you the update. All right, so this right here is the standard, one of the standard sides for making the claw mechanism. Now, this little pocket is for magnets, and I honestly don't use those magnets a whole lot. So what we're going to do, what I did do, is we remove that pocket, and instead we have this right here. Now you can see the difference if we look at them. There's this little notch here in the front, and there's no pocket inside there for magnets. When this thing goes together, we're going to use this little piece that I happen to have lying around. It's just a thing from the version 4 grabber that I had a bunch made. And what that does is it's going to be the wear point, hopefully, on the end. Now I got to get it all screwed together here, but you can see the basic idea. This piece of stainless steel is going to take a hell of a lot more abuse than this plastic here. And with any luck, it'll hold up for years. If we break that component, if we break the claw, we'll just replace this piece of, we'll just take the one out that we're using and put it back in the new one. So let me get this all installed and we'll see how it looks. I just love how easy this thing comes apart, but check this out. So here we see the screws that are holding in the silicone and the magnets, all the stuff that the magnets pick up, even, because they're not glued in there, it's just squished together. So they're getting little tiny filings in there. And those magnets, man, they're pretty dirty. But the silicone, when this silicone has got thousands of gallons of use on it, this stuff holds up amazingly well. I mean, they got little cuts right here on the end, which is kind of what you expect. But in general, I'm going to put this one right back in the new grabber because it's still functional. Alright, so we got it all back together. Now, this one's red instead of blue, just the material I was running at the time. And there we can see that little metal piece in place. And the idea is that whenever we go down, that metal piece is going to have to wear before the plastic. I think that's going to work pretty good. Now, for other people who are still making these, I'm going to say to leave that little magnetic pocket in there. Because, like, if you're picking up on a beach, those magnets are, pretty dang handy. But for me personally, I haven't really used those magnets much, so I went ahead and just removed them. But yeah, I think that'll work. We had to go in there and put a little countersink to get this screw flat, but we're good to go. Okay, there we go. Now, this grabber has had a lot of these customized parts put on it that I'm experimenting with. So if you get the files from Cults 3D, it's not going to have this modification on the front to have that. You won't have, like this one here has a modification that goes down the middle with reinforcing rods, and the handle itself has a hole that goes through it with a stainless steel rod going in there. Those are all experimental things, and I don't normally release stuff until I have tested it pretty thoroughly to make sure it's going to work good. Down the road, if I do go to release this, what I'll likely do is instead of using this little custom part that I had cut out for a different grabber, I'll probably put a nickel or something in there. Make a little pocket where a nickel slides into it. It kind of does the same functionality, maybe at an angle. Something for me to look at down the road. But, as I said, we're fixed. We'll get back out there and see what else we can get. We're almost to 3,000 gallons.